You are tuned in to BRTV podcast brought to you by BrilliantRead.com. As part of our endeavor to bring renowned entrepreneurs on our platform, we have invited Liza Pavlakos, who is one of the most inspirational entrepreneurs and a global speaker. Liza, thank you very much for taking time out for BRTV and coming to our show. It's a great value add, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on your show because it's a greater honor for me to be on your platform.
Thank you very much. So, Lisa, share with us your journey and about your foundation because we've heard you doing a lot of good things and we would want to share that with our audience because at Brilliant Read, it is our endeavor to motivate them, to help them unlock their true potential. So it's great to have you on our show. So please share with your journey about your foundation with us.
Okay, so I started a foundation called the Liza Pavlakos Foundation. And the reason why I started it was because I wanted to have a charity organization in which I could actually go out to impoverished areas around the world and try and support in whatever way that I can support. So the last efforts that my company did or my foundation did, we went to the Philippines, the orphanage of Philippines, and I was very blessed because it's a charitable foundation. I get organizations that jump on board. So in Melbourne, we've got a business called the Office Works, and Office Works supplies pens and books and all that. So they jumped on as a sponsor, and I was able to then go and supply, educational supplies to the orphanage. So yeah.
That's indeed a great cause. And why did you choose such a great cause? What was the reason behind it?
I think you already know the answer. And that's the thing, I think I have a very unique story. And sometimes sometimes I don't want to repeat that story so many times, only because, if you were to Google or if you were to go on social media, there's plenty of videos that explain my story in great length. But, because of your show, I want to be able to touch your viewers. So I'll explain, as briefly as I can about my unique story. So from a young age, I experienced a lot of abuse, sexual trauma, and I ran away from home at a very young age as well, at 16. So, coming from an Asian Indian background and having the comforts of the home, but being so unhappy that you are being perpetrated against members that you trust, your cousin, your uncle. I felt like there was, nothing else for me to do but to run away from home, just to run away from that abuse. But, what happens when you run away from home is sometimes you think you're running away, you think that you're going to actually build a better life for yourself. But when you're on the streets and when you're homeless and when you're vulnerable, sometimes you can be susceptible to so much more abuse. So whilst I was on the streets, I experienced a lot more trauma than I thought a lot more trauma than I could ever imagine. Some of that trauma included domestic violence from a boyfriend that I had. I also was kidnapped and almost murdered when I was walking home from school, and my story came out in the Australian press at that time. I fell pregnant and had a baby at the age of 21. But with the miserable things that took place in my life, I also made a choice to change my life. And so because I was a single parent at 21, I felt that it's really important that I make a success of my life as best as I can, so that then I can, be a better parent towards my son. So at the age of 23, I became an entrepreneur, where I started the first Miss India International Beauty Pageant for Australia. I remember my first show, I had 4,000 people come watch my shows. I took on a failing restaurant and bar, made that a success. I think I was like 24 at that point. I went into business with my now husband, but he, at that time he was my business partner, and we opened a chain of clothing alteration stores. So I guess what I want to say is that I totally turned my life around after the birth of my son. So instead of being that victim story and the story of my life is miserable because I was abused, because I was raped, because I had domestic violence, because I was kidnapped, I turned my story around and became a self-made entrepreneur. And that's how I'd like to think of myself today, a self-made entrepreneur and a human rights supporter.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. We are aware that you keep traveling to various countries and you have your keynote sessions. How do you manage to do everything? I mean, you are a mom of 5. You shared with us earlier. How do you keep yourself motivated? What's your that constant source of motivation that gets you up in the morning?
I think it's really simple. If you do something that you love, and if you do what you believe in, then you don't need any source of motivation to do what you love, because what you love ends up being your hobby, So for an example, if you love painting, and painting is your release, and painting, is a de-stress for you. Well, then if you started a painting business, well then if you were painting till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning, you actually wouldn't feel it, because it's your de-stress, it's your motivation.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I love what I do, and I'm very passionate about it, because I've experienced that level of trauma, and I feel like that level of trauma can then help so many people around the world that go through this. And I'm not just talking about women that get abused. I'm talking about transgenders. I'm talking about gays. I'm talking about anyone who is experiencing any kind of racism,
Right.
any kind of abuse in any way. There is a way to stand up against it.
Right. So now, Liza, we know that you've faced a lot of adversity and you've come out of it brilliantly, and you are a true story on your own. You are, inspiring and motivating millions of people around the world. You have your session in India as well. When are you coming to India? What was the date?
19th of October.
19th of October.
IT Kharagpur. So excited.
So
Because this time round, well, last time I was in India, I think it was in Mumbai at the beginning of the year, I really wanted to eat pani puri and I didn't get to have that. So this time around, I'm certainly going to have my pani puri when I'm in India. 19th of October.
Do try other delicious food from India. You'd love that. And you're going to IIT Kharagpur, I'm sure that you'll find something great there as well. So you'll have Bengali sweets if you manage to get to Kolkata or those parts of the region.
I will be in Kolkata as well. Yeah.
So the question that I was going to ask you, Liza, is how do you overcome adversity? How important do you feel is resilience in our lives?
Resilience is really important.
Right.
And there are so many tools out there, or so many ways that you can learn resilience by reading so many books. And there's so many amazing speakers out there that talk about overcoming adversity and having a resilient mindset, all that sort of stuff. But I think resilience exists in all of us, because the truth is, if we believe in spirituality,
right,
then you must believe in magic, the magic of the capabilities that are within us, to be able to overcome everything. I feel And I truly believe that the answer to resilience is having faith and having spirituality. Without it, I think you stop dreaming. Spirituality is being able to dream.
Right. So I guess no matter how difficult your story is, no matter how adverse the circumstances are, you must have the resilience to get out of it and to believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself, but if you believe in spirituality first.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because without spirituality, what do you have? You have nothing. You have nothing but a rat race that you're trying to compete with all the time. But when you have spirituality, you have this magic that exists in the skies, you know, wherever it is that you want to believe in, and that magic then goes into your heart, and you know, I think everything starts and ends with spirituality.
Right. Now, so we see people, so many people self-sabotaging themselves and their routine, negative thinking. People are depressed. You know, we are aware that social media is also causing a lot of anxiety, depression in people. You shared with us earlier that you've gone through depression yourself. So how did you manage to get out of it? What best advice would you share with our audience?
Again, people aren't going to like some will like it and some won't like it, but you can't have everyone love you. Again, spirituality.
Right.
I mean, I personally, I meditate 5 times a day, right? Through my prayers. But I also, you know, I also look at the trees, you know, and I also look at the sky, and I look at the birds, and then I believe in the power and the magic of spirituality. And I think to myself, wow, there's so much more to life than just me and my problems. And when you look at the tree and when you look at the birds, you know, it gives you this sense of this moment where you get to actually stop and be in the moment, instead of having your mind racing to all the negative things.
Right.
And then you start thinking about positive things. Oh my God, the beauty in the trees. Oh my God, the beauty in the stars, whatever it is. You start to then reinforce your mind with some positive words, because you start saying the beauty, the miracle, the whatever it is, right? I mean, those are the things that people need to do on a regular basis. Just stop and be in the moment.
Right. So the answer is be in the moment, be mindful of where you are, live that particular moment, believe in yourself, and just look at things around you, the trees, the nature, appreciate the beauty of it, be grateful. I guess that's what you meant, yeah?
Stop, take a deep breath. You know, when you have a moment of full anxiety, just stop and just take a deep breath and just be in the moment. You see, the thing is, right, no matter what the adversity is, I'm talking about, for an example, my adversity, right? I can't change what's happened in the past. Whatever's happened has happened. And, you know, even the start of this interview that we just shared, this moment,
Yeah.
never going to get that start of that interview back in real time again. That moment is gone.
Correct.
What we have is this moment, and all we have is the future, and all we can do is prepare for the future by being mindful and being grateful, right? That you are alive, because before you know it, your time is up, and then what?
Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Liza. I mean, that's really insightful, and I reckon that would help our audience, our community a lot. So thank you very much. Next question to you, Liza, is again. So you know, we want to know more about how you've managed to do all the brilliant stuff that you're doing already, and your initiatives, your projects that you are working on. So what is that one strategy that you believe has helped you grow as an individual?
Loving what you do. Loving what you do. That's it. It doesn't matter what that is. Whatever it is, find what that is. Love what you do, but make sure whatever you're doing is good, right? Make sure you're not doing bad things. Make sure you're not hurting people. I believe in karma. You know, what goes around comes around. Try and be as honest as possible, right? And I think, you know, that is the secret. You're gonna love what you do, because your passion is your purpose. And I was running a successful tailoring business with my business partner, with my husband. Was running that, and we had plenty of stores. We had plenty of A-list celebrity clients and plenty of wonderful contracts. But you know what? I didn't love doing that job. He's a fantastic tailor, and he will always be one of the best master tailors that exists in my eyes. But for me, I didn't love it. And so, no matter how much money you're earning through that business, how long can you keep going running something that you're not happy running? So when I decided to make that change and do motivational speaking, it's what I love doing. So I don't mind waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and starting work. I don't mind putting the kids to bed at 7:30 and then working and doing whatever it takes to be the best in my craft. Because when you love what you do, it's your passion. And your passion is your purpose.
So the answer is to identify the passion, what really motivates you, what is that you love doing, that gets you alive. Yeah. So identify your purpose and lead a purpose-driven life, just like Liza has shared with us. Right. Thank you very much again, Liza. So what, in your opinion, are the key ingredients of success? So that is the question that we face a lot. Everyone wants to know what comprises success.
I love that question. Well, what comprises success? I personally believe that we're all already successful in our own right, whoever that person is. Yeah, that's my basic belief. You could be a beggar on the street, and you might not have much at all. You might be living in the slums, right? But to me, you're so successful when you are that beggar in the street, or when you are that extremely impoverished person. And I mean, I'm telling you, like, I've gone to Nigeria and I've seen people with like no arms, no legs. I've gone, I've just seen so much poverty, right? To me, they are the most successful people I will ever meet in my whole life. You know why? Because they have such a resilient mindset and they have so much tenacity, right? So I think, people are already successful in their own right? Wherever and whatever it is that they're doing. They just have to love themselves. They just have to appreciate themselves, and they just need to, as we've said before, right? Figure out what their passion is and make that into their business, or choose that line of work. But I do believe, I think, having faced so much adversity, I think I understand the 3 principles to success. And to me, those 3 principles comprise of choice, courage, and determination. Because regardless of our situation, whether we're a beggar, whether we are just a secretary, whether we're a top CEO, we all have a choice to embrace who we are and where we are. We have the choice to figure out what our passion is and to chase that. We have the choice to make good decisions. Having that choice or making that choice requires courage.
It does, yeah.
And courage is the second principle. Courage to do what you love, courage to put yourself first, courage to stand up for what you believe in. Then comes the third principle, which is determination. You need that determination and that drive to fight for what you want and the kind of life that you want to live. But if you ask me, how do people achieve success? To all the viewers or the listeners out there, you are already successful in your own right. There is nothing more you need to do but to love yourself, appreciate yourself, and stand up for what you believe in. I will never be that speaker and that mentor, business mentor, that will say, let me show you how to make 6 figures. Let me show you how to make 10 figures. let me show you A, B, and C. No, I'm going to show you how to tap into your talent. I'm going to show you how to love yourself, how to forgive yourself, how to appreciate yourself. I'm going to show you that you are enough and that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve already as you are. It just takes drive, determination, courage, choice. That's it.
Thank you very much. So, I mean, really, do not accept somebody else's definition of success, because it varies from person to person, from individual to individual. What success to you is may not be success to others, right? So you rightly answered that. Thank you very much, Liza, and that's really insightful for everyone here. All right, so heading to my last question, because we have a lot of women entrepreneurs, right? They want to start out, but they're not getting the courage, like you said. They don't have the courage. They don't know how to go about it. So what is your piece of advice for those who want to start out, particular women entrepreneurs?
Well, it just depends. I mean, some people don't start up because they're worried about what other people are going to think. Or some people don't start up because they think that they need funds to start up things.
Yeah.
Right? So there's so many different variations to why people don't start up things, right? Firstly, sound out the noise, right? If you want to do something, do it, pursue it. And don't seek validation from people around you, because you have one life to live and you need to live it to the fullest. Secondly, if people say to me, well, I don't have the funds, I don't have the money. Well, guess what? When I started Miss India International, I didn't have funds either. But it didn't stop me from negotiating, right? Negotiating what I wanted. It didn't stop me from, going to the venue to say, look, I don't have money to pay for the venue to hold my event, but I'm going to pay you after the event. It didn't stop me from bringing the sponsors on board or finding the models. You see, you can achieve any dream if you really speak with conviction and you really, make your plan and make your business a success. Like, there is no excuse. But, in order to not have an excuse, you have to have a no excuse mindset.
Right. Thank you very much, because this is what most of us aspiring entrepreneurs face. We don't have funds, and that is why we just resort to those excuses. We do not start out.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, you have to identify the ways of being sponsored, of raising that capital, of finding that stepping stone that would take you to your eventual destination. So thank you very much. We appreciate all that you've shared with us, Liza. Thank you very much again for taking your time out on a weekend. I know you keep flying to different countries, different continents that you've been to. You're coming to India on 19th October in IIT Kharagpur it is. So thank you very much again. Anything you would want to share with our audience?
I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me today. My every hope is that I have earned the privilege of your time. I'm very grateful, and all I want for you is, to live a fruitful life and the life that you deserve. And I believe in you, because I believe that if I can do it, then anyone can do it. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm really looking forward to coming to India again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks again, Liza. Thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best in your journey and in all that you're doing. It really takes a lot of courage, a lot of determination, and so that's what I would say. On behalf of BRTV, more power to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So we'll keep bringing such stories to you. Do subscribe our YouTube channel, subscribe to our online magazine, BrilliantRead.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn so that you can keep yourself updated. We are here to add value to your lives. Thank you.